Call to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence for our fallen firefighters and all first responders in the state of Connecticut and across the nation. Maybe seated. Approval of the minutes from last month.
Make a motion to accept as posted.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, good. Reports. Chairman's report, I have nothing really this month, except for it just seems to be a lot of activity for you all, like we're making Facebook and different things. So I'd love to dig into some of those and feel free to take all the kudos you need to from us, because just great responses in the town. I think I wanted to add, we covered this, there was a letter about the building on Reef Road, and so if we could just comment on that at some point during the agenda. And then there was one other thing, sorry, I was running over here. That's all we have, so we'll just move through the agenda and we'll get where we need to be. Chiefs?
Chief Dunn will not be here tonight. He asked me to speak for him in his stead. So just a few items I'm going to go over. The first one I want to talk about is our operational resilience. And I want to begin by recognizing the resilience and professionalism demonstrated by our members. Despite these extreme temperatures, challenging road conditions, service delivery remained uninterrupted. Crews operated effectively during a difficult structure fire on Figler Avenue. They managed interior operations, command functions, and all under demanding winter conditions. That incident, it reflects the disciplined teamwork. It reflects the strong operational leadership that we have. And I want to recognize our maintenance division for all the work that they do behind the scenes. They keep our fleet operational. Cold weather places huge stress on our apparatus and our systems, and our maintenance division ensures reliability when every moment counts. Our fire prevention organizational progress. You're going to have a separate report from the fire marshal's office in there as part of your package. But since we've gotten the fourth person, John Gamola, in there, we've become a cohesive team. They are doing very well. We're seeing an increase in inspections, increases in plan reviews, and more public fire prevention activity.
I witnessed it at TJ Maxx that time, as I shared with you. It's terrific, yeah.
Yeah, and all our people were able to step up and assist TJ Maxx in keeping their doors open when their sprinkler system was inoperative. So, you know, the kudos belong there as well. Fire prevention and training, those are usually viewed as support functions, but in reality, they're the foundation to our progressive fire department. They reduce risk through inspections, public education, and the quality training our firefighters get improve their safety, protects our residents all before emergencies occur. The collaboration that is there between prevention, training, operations, that's all part of the level of service our community deserves. And then in the area of training and professional development, a lot of our members are currently completing their EMT refresher training. That keeps them ready with the latest advances in clinical readiness. But we've also had many of our members request advanced training, including Fire Officer 1, Fire Instructor 1, Fire Instructor 3, Advanced Rope Rescue, Confined Space Rescue. This initiative demonstrates the culture. They want professional growth. They want to develop. They want to become leaders. And we're seeing that out of our newer people that are coming in, and it's wonderful. It's sustained growth for our department and succession, which is very important to how we do things. Budgetarily, we're entering the presentation phase now of the budget process. And our proposals, they support operational readiness, they support capital planning, they support staffing stability and technology improvements that we need to sustain our service and delivery. And Deputy Chief Barry and myself just attended a trade show in Long Island. And we got to talk to vendors there and saw some of the latest products that are coming out, things that are on the cutting edge. And we also got to speak with the manufacturers of our apparatus that we purchase, making sure our timelines are correct, making sure that the things that we're doing are aligned with what national standards are calling for and best practices. So it was really good to get FaceTime with a lot of those vendors. And then the last thing I have is just today we had a safety committee meeting and with our internal fire department safety committee. And we reviewed line of duty deaths from 2025 and looked at causation, looked at trends that were occurring there and trying to identify areas where we may have gaps and we can prevent such an event from happening in our department. And we had a very nice team there doing that work and focusing on that. And just here at the school, we're still working to try to increase vendor usage to support revenue while we still maintain the core mission of training our people up. And that's all I have there. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer.
May I just ask one question?
Please do.
I would like to just confirm that, I was told, you know, being a resident, you get all this, or I get it through my business. Did house 3 have no heat? Something happened. I feel, I mean, how do we fix it? So that.
They had,
I was wonderful when you lauded the maintenance department because you've got a great maintenance department.
when you say they had no heat,
I'm not sure that I'm saying the right terminology, but something happened.
At the fire station?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
see the?
yeah, they lost 2 of the apparatus floor heaters and they
Yes.
lost a hot water heater at.
That's it. They lost their hot water heater.
Mhm.
But that's not unusual. It's just the season.
It's a house, just like anybody else's house.
Yeah.
Things break. It's just our house.
And your maintenance department follows through.
The town takes care of that for us.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
It worked out okay.
Town DPW, we have a system that we use and James Ryan is our contact there. And I gotta tell you, if I put something in at 9 o'clock at night, at 6:30 in the morning, they're at the firehouse, ready to fix it.
Oh, that's why I know.
Our DPW and the way they manage their our buildings and grounds is
That was the
when they can
impression.
fix it, they're out there quick to do it.
For full disclosure, I don't know that they purchased it from me, Park City Valve and Fitting. But I'm well aware of, we work very closely with James Ryan.
Yeah.
And we do whatever we can because anyone that's, you know, in the know realizes how critically important all of these things are.
Yeah.
For the firemen.
Well, hot water is critically important for us because a lot of our we go to is medical calls, and when you come back from a medical call, besides cleaning up on scene, immediately when you get back to the firehouse, you have to wash your hands.
Got it. A very good.
Hot
point.
soapy water for 30 seconds so that you make sure you get all. So that was fixed within the hour, I believe, or within the morning rather. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're
It was okay.
We have other issues in other firehouses, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but
We should.
Yeah.
Wherever we can be of help or assistance, we want to be.
sure.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. I'll go over the, the operationals now. It's good. So we had 3 fires this month. We had one on Lindley Drive, which was a basement electrical fire that spread to the remainder of the basement. Crews quickly got there, took care of that situation. They were there for a few hours. While that was going on, we concurrently got a fire across town on Blake Drive, which I actually ended up responding to and with mutual aid companies because we tied up at that other fire, much smaller scale. It was more of a culinary misadventure than a bigger fire, which was good. And then I'm sure you saw in the news this week, the Figler Avenue fire.
Yes.
The crew that was there that night, to echo what Chief Case said before, I mean, the worst of the worst conditions. It was 5 degrees out. It was 1.5 feet of snow and, most of the first floor was on fire and spreading up to the back of the house. The exterior of the house was on fire. The picture that you see are pre-arrival pictures or arrival of the first unit. As companies put stuff into place, Chief Caliper was building out his plan, and fortunately, I live within close distance to the firehouse. They were able to get lines on the fire quickly and started to knock that fire down pretty quick, but significant amount of damage.
It's a hydrant, right?
They did use a hydrant, yeah. Companies actually hand stretched that hydrant because it was close enough. And with the snow on that road, it's a little bit narrower. You weren't gonna able to get two trucks to pass each other, so they had to hand stretch back to that hydrant to make that work.
I was wondering, like, with all the snow, like, how accessible that hydrant was.
So fortunately, that one was dug out. And that's, we ask all residents to dig out fire hydrants that are close to their properties. There's a little under 2,000 fire hydrants in town. And what we typically do after a snowfall is they'll shovel hydrants out, particularly in our commercial corridor, where there's no resident to actually go and dig the fire hydrant out. Some of our local vendors, or not our local vendors, but local plow contractors are very good about some stuff on the post road for us. We received some phone calls saying, hey, can you tell us where the hydrants are so we can clean them out? Because with 1.5 feet of snow, obviously there's not a lot of place to put snow. So they're really good about cleaning that stuff up. But the residents they can help us tremendously by.
I would say a social media post
We
highlighting
did.
how. Like, to Excel, 'cause, like, in the article, it just said you accessed the hydrant.
Oh, okay.
So, like, which is great. That was a really good social media. I mean, I don't want to applaud social media posts for somebody's misery, right? But to get the word out on how effective you all were, and I think Lieutenant Polster was there, right?
Yeah.
He was.
Great interviewer too. But he it was a terrific job. It mentions using the fire hydrant. So if you did a subsequent post already, great. But if not,
We had one previous to that was please shovel out your hydrants and
I would put another one out now saying, by the way, this shoveled out fire hydrant was immensely helpful. That'll hit people's head.
Sure.
People just saw that fire. They're seeing it. You guys circle it back to like, hey, having this shoveled out fire hydrant, it was like massively contributing to us bringing this down. You'll have people, you'll see people out there with shovels.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Would you agree?
I think so. I think.
Yeah,
I think it would.
that was a great job. I was so proud of you guys for that one. It was just amazing.
It was hard fought.
You know, you
Was it?
could just tell from the posts, like, it was,
Can you tell us how the fireman is doing? We got the impression, from what I read somewhere, that you had one fellow who was,
He's doing fine.
okay. I gathered that, but it was you. It was you.
Yeah, well,
He's not-
And he's losing weight.
he was knocking the rust off.
no, what had happened was when crews were pushing inside to get the fire, we were in the back, and if you could believe it, the stream of water hit me right in the eye. So
Oh, wow.
uh,
Oh, that's gotta be it was so cold that night.
it's the force. The problem was,
Of course.
yeah. So,
Oh, my goodness.
fine.
Okay.
No, it's good.
It happens.
Oh, I
Yeah,
wondered.
good to have you here.
Oh,
Chief.
okay, great. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you. Any
Hey,
questions?
Deputy Chief
Any
Barrett,
questions,
wow.
deputy chiefs from Joe or who else is online?
I am good.
Go into a little bit of other operational stuff.
Okay.
Our PPE is being distributed with the OSHA compliance. We had some issue with some of the boots that came in were not correct. Our vendor caught that and immediately remedied it. When Chief Case and I were out in Long Island, we were able to speak to the supplier of that vendor and expressed our displeasure to them. So that worked out pretty good for us to be out there. As Assistant Chief Cronin did a class for the department about report writing. One of his charges is about how reports are written and completeness of them. So with a lot of new officers, it was nice to have him go out and explain. He's also a paramedic, so his documentation skills are very, very good. So he was charged with teaching the entire department report writing skills. So that just finished up with the last class a couple weeks ago. Our EMT is still running. We met out in Long Island. We went to Long Island and we also went to a fire company out there to look at one of the apparatus that we're looking at purchasing to see how they set it up and things that we like or didn't like, or things they like and didn't like about it, so that we can, as you can imagine, fire trucks are very complex. And as the ever-changing evolution of things, you want to make sure we have the best that we can for this town. So We were able to do that when we were out there as well. The other problem, buildings I spoke out, we just found out today that our men's room at Station One, half of the facilities are no longer functional today, drain wise.
Did you freeze or?
No, it's just, they're old. They're from 1959. In the urinal side of the men's room is, it doesn't work anymore and there's no way they can fix it. We're gonna have to figure out a way to get half the bathroom working again, so.
Chief, is that the downstairs bathroom? Downstairs bedroom?
The upstairs,
Okay,
the main laboratory.
yep, downstairs, okay.
So the DPW was out today and he said that because the pipes actually run through the walls. So the apparatus floor walls, so he can't access the pipes, so we're gonna have to figure out, we're gonna get with DPW and figure out a way to work through that, so. That's it that I have for, on the septic at 5, should hopefully be starting as soon as the weather breaks. So that's what we'll be with that.
Any questions? Welcome, Commissioner Picco. Is anyone from CERT online? On Zoom?
Usually.
Community Emergency Response Team?
They're gonna be doing training shortly, but
Negative.
done well.
Southport Volunteer Fire Department?
Negative.
Stratfield Volunteer Fire Department?
No other line other than.
Local 1426? Executive session too. Or we'll, if somebody shows up and they're late, we all agree that they can speak then?
I mean, if you, do we have an executive session?
Don't know. I don't believe
On the agenda.
What's on the
I
agenda?
put it on because I thought that it would.
typically gets put on if you need it.
Okay.
If you don't,
Donations.
I think there were some thank you letters. I don't
Yeah.
know
there's a couple.
I don't know if there were any donations per se.
Sent to Lieutenant Malkin, firefighters Ahern, Russell, Miss Sherwood's 45 Penfield Place called to compliment the crew who helped her early New Year's Day for water conditioner her house. She was very happy and the aid provided and wanted me to thank you. You all reflect the Fairfield Fire Department in the best way. So it's wonderful. Wonderful. Any other donations or local? Oh, here's one. Can you read that? Damn, I can't read. Sheila Clancy from Southport. To the folks of the Fairfield Fire Department, thanks for helping us
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. Oh, thanks for helping us out on Tuesday night. We're gonna go on record, Sheila Clancy just needs penmanship. And I am the chairman, so that counts. Old business? Old grievances, old grudges? Anybody?
I think you may be hearing.
It's the Irish.
All right, new business. I just wanted to discuss the letter that we received from Repro. Just put it out there because somebody's gonna write this to us. I think we should just, should be out there and discuss. So I think, I don't know if you all received this.
Yes.
Dear Commissioners, I'm requesting information about how increased density on Reef Road affects the emergency evacuation route during a flooding, snow, or other emergency events. How would 80 to 160 new cars, residents on Reef Road affect emergency vehicles getting in and residents getting out of the beach area? In the case of a flooding emergency, the lowest point on the beach is the Rowland Road, Fairfield Beach Road Pentway that acts as an open faucet and stops people from crossing and making it to Beach Road, leaving Reef as the only evacuation route to Fairfield Beach Road and Reef Road residents. Below are the addresses that would need to use this route. She lists a plethora of addresses, like it's a bunch of addresses on Fairfield Beach Road and surrounding area. I'm not gonna spend the time with this ball, but just trust me, it's a plethora. I just wanted to kind of put that out there for us to discuss it, because, Dorothea sent it to us on her behalf because it went to her. Dina Cummings. From Dina Cummings. So. That, I guess that's something that's, as a committee, we should discuss, these buildings are coming, right? Like, so, with that specific question, with all those cars parked there, how do we feel would affect this evacuation routes and other emergency?
Unfortunately, the fire department has no control over where these buildings go. There's state legislation, the 830G, which everybody's familiar with. There's also the 8002, which is the new one. They're beyond the scope of the fire departments being able to say that something should or shouldn't be there. That goes through the town planning and zoning. And I know they have attempted in the past to stop some things, but eventually, because of the way the legislation's written, they don't have a lot that they can do to stop high density housing. It's just, it's coming, and that's why you see us preparing on the backside with how we're laying out the department for the future, because it changes how we operate. As far as flooding, I would think that we would have some sort of forecast through weather events or, weather service and things like that. And we would put out to residents either using the town to tell people to evacuate the area. The most important thing then is we would evacuate an area or tell people to evacuate an area that they heed the warnings that we give them and get out of there, and that would alleviate the congestion, I would think.
What about fire? What if there's a big fire emergency?
I mean, there's legal parking there now. I don't know. I believe the only one going on Reef Road is at 812, which is about a 50-unit complex, and they have their own parking lot in the back. So I don't think you'll see any more parking on Reef Road from that than there already is. I'm not sure if was her concern, is those 50 cars coming out.
I think it's if they all have to come out at once, because you're right, with the flooding, there's usually a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a fire and we're gonna have to get down there, but unless their particular building is on fire, I don't know why they would need to evacuate.
So her simple question, how would 80 to 160 new cars, residents on Reef Road affect emergency vehicles getting in and residents getting out of the beach area? In the case of the flooding emergency, the lowest point on the beach is the Roland Beach, Fairfield Beach Road Penway that acts as an open faucet and stops people from crossing and making it to Beach Road, leaving Reef as the only evacuation route to Fairfield Beach Road. So I guess the answer is the cars will be parked in the back. And there's gonna be no more cars on the actual thoroughfare of Reef Road.
Yeah, there's parking there now. I mean, it's not gonna change.
In the general discussion of storm preparedness, those are all things that we advise residents through any method that we can, whether it's social media or direct contact via sign up for text, and we let them know when the events are coming. The town does have a need for housing, and the housing is being built and developed. It's not going to stop. So we are recognizing that, we're adjusting our messaging so that the community is informed and they can make decisions ahead of time. But as far as, whether this building comes up and it has X amount of vehicles in it, the fire department is not part of that process. That's planning and zoning. And
But to us, their specific question is, there's gonna be no more cars on Beach Road. There's only certain spots next to every curb. And the building will have parking for these cars in the back. So for a specific question, it doesn't really affect the operation of the.
No, it shouldn't. No.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be and whatever the TP&Z gave her for verification, they verified what they will allow. Am I correct? So, and my only question was, does anyone here know 80 to 160 cars? Why 80 to 160? Do you know why?
Not sure where she came up.
Where those numbers came from?
up to 2 cars per unit.
Yes, that would be probably 2 cars per unit. That's what I'm assuming. But I would also assume that planning and zoning is pretty adept at.
Yeah.
Right?
They're on the ball.
State statutes that planning and zoning is like the gun to its head.
I think, yes, but that's
not.
that's where it starts.
That's where it.
Ultimately, they're gonna
Yes.
create some type of parking capacity in the back, which won't be enough.
Mhm.
There are a lot of people that take advantage of alternative to vehicles. They use bicycles. They use things like that to get around. Mobility devices. So, I mean,
I would say this, they're gonna park their cars there, they're gonna steel spots on Reef Road, which is open to anybody, and the parking problem of the train station is now solved. People put their extra car down there probably, and it's gonna happen.
It is gonna happen.
Yeah, they'll pay for
Yeah,
the parking
it's
there.
inevitable.
All right, so as far as what we can do here, we've discussed it and we'll be ready as things come forward our way. I'm gonna bring letters like this because this is a hot button item in this town, right? And I want it to be
Mhm.
recorded in that we've discussed it, so if 6 months from now, Ms. Cummings is upset, we can say, hey, we discussed it, it's in the notes, and feel free to come to a fire commission meeting.
Good point.
Okay. So just know that every time we get something of that stature, we'll discuss it. Any questions or comments from?
I'd like to just weigh in here a little bit. I've been following the 830G stuff for 20 years. Wow, that's sad that I could say that. And unfortunately, if it's an 830G project, the town's hands are basically tied. They're told that if it creates a safety issue, well, you can claim a safety issue, and I forgot all the different ways that you can do it. But basically, if you're telling there's a traffic issue, then the 830G rules basically say, well, you have to come up with a plan to deal with it. The housing's going to go in. You need to come up with a plan to deal with it. If your sewage system can't handle it, then you need to come up with a way so that your sewer system will handle it. That's one of the big problems with the 830G, the way it was developed. Great idea, but it's super flawed and doesn't work. But I have a lot of other thoughts on that, but we won't get into that at this meeting.
That's why we're doing some of the preparation that we can, asking for extra manpower, because a fire on a first floor is extremely different than a fire on the sixth floor. If we have a fire on the sixth floor of a facility like that, we have to carry all of our equipment up 5 floors and make our base of operation at. So it's a tremendous strain on personnel just to get everything into place. So that's why we're crafting what we think is the future.
Well, I'm glad Ms. Cummings wrote this letter. I'm glad we get to discuss it, and hopefully she looks at the notes and knows that we discussed it, and it's really no change to what the capacity is now, right? And so letters like that come in, we'll discuss here just so we know we're doing everything we can as a commission. Any other comments from my fellow commissioners?
I just wanted to add and echo what's already been said, in that we can't really stop the 8-30Gs, but we can be prepared as a town, especially if we can't get around the parking because that's not our purview, but we do have to be safe. A lot of these buildings are multi-story buildings.
Exactly right. And so maybe we'll talk about that. We'll put that on an agenda item in the future. Some of the, not because you guys are getting going on it, but let's talk about like the progressive things, and we'll maybe go through a list of things that you're doing to prepare for like these larger buildings coming down the road. Okay, we'll get prepared so it's not like we're not springing on you, right? Okay, cool. Thank you for that, Commissioner Picco. Any public comment? Anybody out there that wants to comment? Anything we've discussed or anything fire department related?
I have one comment, and it's basically for the commission, if I may. I don't know. It's definitely not new business, because I've discussed this many a times, but there are new people on this commission. When receiving emails from Jen, do not reply all, just reply to Jen, because once you get more than 4 people replying to an email, it is then a business meeting. So I know her emails basically are just informational emails, but if people start answering that email, that becomes a meeting and we can have some FOIA problems. And that's from the FOIA attorney, because I addressed that with him a few years back when they had a workshop. they basically said, yeah, if you start answering an email and people chime in, then that's a public meeting. And so just if you're gonna answer an email, just reply singly. When I used to send out emails to the commission, I blind carbon copied everybody, so it didn't go out, so that if somebody did answer me, it wouldn't go back out to the other people. It only went to me, so it wouldn't be a meeting then. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
Thank you, Commissioner. That's good. Good reminder and good for the new ones too. Thank you.
Yeah, or just ask if there's any other business.
Is to hear, consider and act upon any other business which shall properly come before the meeting, this meeting. Any,
Add one thing, next month, we are planning our poster contest, so, there'll be some activity for that.
terrific. So we're planning it, or is it gonna be out there?
Jen's more familiar with the
It's gonna
schedule.
happen. Remember last year we did the pizza
Yeah,
thing and
great.
we did the presentation, so we're gonna do the same thing at next meeting.
that was wonderful last year. We got some good posters back too. It was great. It
Yeah.
was a great job.
I got what, Jen, when you do up the agenda, make sure that's item number like 2, so that we can do all that stuff and then go back to our normal meeting once we're done with that.
Okay.
Other, I mean, we couldn't change the meeting ourselves, but if it's that way right from the beginning, then people know that, they're not gonna have to sit through our whole meeting before we get to any of that stuff.
Okay.
Do we have any idea of like when, like we'll be hiring, if we are gonna be hiring, or is there still?
New firefighters?
Yes.
We have a meeting coming up, it's either next week or the week after, to discuss that with the whole consortium group.
Oh, your consortium. Oh, good.
Cause what do we do with test back in the fall or?
In the fall.
All right. Any other questions? For anybody out there?
Do we still have anybody on the old list or did we go through the whole?
I believe we've gone through the list that we conducted interviews with. So, yeah, we would be, I believe, establishing a new list for promulgation at that point.
So we could theoretically be doing more interviews this summer.
I'm sorry?
We could theoretically be doing more interviews again this summer.
Yes, potentially, yes.
This
I'll
I'll be in again too.
I'll be happy.
Love that day. All right, that week.
Yep.
All right, executive session. I don't think we even need for executive session. Commissioner Cinto, do you have anything that you need to do to prolong this meeting? No, I thought we heard him. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right.
1933.